your subconsciously know the truth. You lose trust from others, and when you lose trust from others, it's almost impossible to gain that trust back. Endure the things that are hard and painful. I've looked over a lot of my life and realized that for a good chunk of my journey, I really embraced and grew up on this idea of fake it till you make it. And what I've come to understand and realize is how detrimental that was to my personal growth, my business growth, and ultimately hurt me on my journey to getting to where we are now, running 3 companies, having tons of revenue streams, and finding success at the level that we've currently found. And so it's the entire idea of why you shouldn't fake it till you make it. And if you look at the pure definition of fake it till you make it, it's literally looking at life with this optimistic outlook that everything's going to work out and that you can trick people and fake your way through doing something. I mean, this has been a phrase used for years. In recent years, Amy Cuddy in her Power Poses video TED Talk, which is an amazing TED Talk, really hit it home. And I don't think the fake it till you become it, what she said, devalued her overall speech. I think people leaned on that as the more of the bigger takeaway, which is unfortunate because she was really talking about the different power poses and how they can change your psyche. But when you fake it till you make it, there's a number of things you're actually doing to yourself. And I'm going to talk about, Andrew Huberman, who's a professor of neurobiology over at Stanford, and some of the studies he talked about on his Huberman Lab podcast. And so I'll bring some of those in here to case and talk about the science behind why this isn't a good thing. But I want to walk you through first what I've noticed and what I found to be my truth. And I mean, look, I grew up in the game of studying self-help and personal growth and the likes because I always had this desire that I was going to work on myself, that I was going to better myself and this journey and make myself a better person so I could achieve the things that I wanted to achieve. So, I've done everything from vision boards to visualizations to the fake it till you make it, self-talk, and the likes. And a lot of it is rooted in a good place, I think. It's just improperly used, and therefore it cost a lot of people a lot of years of personal growth because they were trying to do these things. So the biggest thing that I found is when you try and fake it till you make it, you're lying to yourself. You're literally telling the world and you that you are capable of doing whatever's presented and put in front of you. Now look, I'm all for being positively optimistic. I don't want fake positivity. I don't want that over the top stuff where you always have to be happy and upbeat. But I do want you to have a positive outlook on life. It's okay to get pissed off about things, right? Rage and anger play a part in life, and a lot of times big breakthroughs will come from those. It's when you are so positively optimistic that you actually trick yourself or lie to yourself into doing things that you don't know how to do yet. Let me clarify. I totally think you should be going and trying and doing things that you don't know how to do. What I don't think you should be doing is telling the people you already have the ability to do it. I mean, we've all taken jobs in our lives that we were way underqualified for and figured it out along the way to get it done. And there's a reason. We'll talk about those reasons here in a second. But when you try and fake it till you make it, you lie to yourself and you learn to distrust yourself, which may sound crazy, but the truth of the matter is you're subconsciously know the truth. You know what you're capable of accomplishing. You know what your current level of abilities are. And when you convince others or tell others that you can do things, you start losing trust in yourself, because as soon as you try doing a thing, you're going to screw it all up. And subconsciously, your mind goes, yep, knew you couldn't do it. And now you proved your subconscious right. And so it's very frustrating to watch people try and fake their way through it versus being genuinely going through it. The second thing is you do when you try and fake it to make it, you lose trust from others. And when you lose trust from others, it's almost impossible to gain that trust back. And the reason you lose trust from others is they're going to see through it at some point. We've all been around somebody that has told us that they were very capable of accomplishing or doing a particular thing or task. But once they got into that thing or task, it was obvious that they had never done that. I've hired a ton of people, unfortunately, that said that they were capable of accomplishing several different types of things. And when we got into it, they weren't able to actually pull off anything. So I've lived through that fake it till you make it type ideal. And so the other thing that happens is you can often convince yourself that you're just better than you actually are. And 100% transparent on my part, I found myself, believing that I was ready for some extremely large stages to speak on and or training in certain types of rooms, only to be humbled by getting in those rooms and doing the things. I can do it now, but back when I was first trying it, I told people I was an amazing speaker. I told people that I was an absolute rock star, and the performance didn't match the mouth. Let's just say, and I've gotten there now, but it's when you're trying to fake it till you make it, you're trying to convince others that you're capable of doing it. It's going to cause so much damage that in some cases it might be irreversible. So, Andrew Huberman, who's a professor over Stanford, professor of neurobiology, I believe, has a Huberman Labs podcast. I enjoy listening to it. And this is no plug for him or anything. There's no endorsements here. But he talks about, things like visualization and how most people do visualization wrong. And one of the things that I love that he put out there was this idea that most people, when they visualize themselves completing a task, crossing a finish line, winning the game, getting the promotion or whatever else, they actually stop working towards that thing. And the reason they stop working towards that thing is because dopamine actually fires off, and it feels like they've already accomplished that particular thing, so they no longer take action towards it. So when you are faking it till you making it, you are literally almost convincing yourself that you don't have to do the activity because you've already got the skill set. And that's a really dangerous place to be, because you're going to cause a lot of chaos and struggle for not only yourself, but for others around you as well. So if you're not supposed to fake it till you make it, what do you do instead? Well, it's really, really simple. You have to do the work and endure the pain. Here's the thing. One of two things are going to happen in your life. If you're actually trying to accomplish and get somewhere and create a successful business and go big and do something with your life, you have two matter-of-fact, absolute facts. One, you will either endure the pain and do the hard things to actually learn the skills and evolve into the person you need to become, or you'll hit rock bottom to where you have no choice but to climb. Otherwise, you're going to maintain status quo, and you're going to stay right here at this level. Because the only way to get to a better version of ourselves, to evolve into that next level version, is to endure the things that are hard and painful. So think about if you're building a business. The hard things are picking up the phone and doing cold calls. The hard things are doing reach outs on LinkedIn and the like. The hard things are balancing your books and looking at your financials. The hard things is doing the daily routines that's required to actually run a business. What most people do is they actually don't want to achieve some sort of level of success. They're actually have found comfort in the discomfort of living their current lifestyle. They've become okay paycheck to paycheck, barely scraping by on their bills, always figuring it out, and ending up in that same rotation and cycle over and over again. They've gotten really good at feeling good about being there. And until you're willing to endure pain, whether it's self-inflicted, meaning you chose to go do the thing, take the action, make the call, do the reach out, look at the bank accounts, look at your pipeline, manage your team and the likes, until you either choose to do the hard things, and choose to do the hard things, or you hit hard times that are so extreme you have no choice, then you've got a shot of actually changing your life. Because it's through this repetitive action of doing those hard things until they become not so hard. And I don't know that if things will ever be easy, but you will learn to enjoy the things that are very, very hard through repetition and learning how to enjoy them. It's endurance of this pain that's really helped people to evolve. When you fake it till you make it, you're trying to shortcut the entire learning process. And when you try and shortcut the learning process, it's like a lottery winner. They didn't learn how to win those lottery money and those millions. They're instantly handed millions of dollars. The reason they lose it is because they've never learned how to earn that level of money. And if you don't know, if you don't earn it, then you're going to find yourself losing it because you don't know how to then maintain, keep growing it, and keep it. And it's the same thing here. Every time you shortcut the learning with a hack, a trick, a tactic, or the like, you're costing yourself precious time and energy to be able to do the thing you need to do. So it's the idea of, right, you want to get good at sales, go do 1,000 sales calls and ask people to do business with you. You want to get good at your finances, then look at your bank every freaking day and understand what money is going where and project how the money's coming into it. Go study money, go study finances, go study, what you should be investing in. And primarily you should be investing in yourself because that's going to pay higher dividends in the long run. And, you need to go work on and take action in the things. Like if you want to speak on stages and the likes, then you need to go get in front of a bunch of rooms, hire people to teach you how to get on better stages, and do the things that will get you there. So don't fake it till you make it. Do the work until the work's done. Go do the hard things and watch how much faster you grow versus maintaining your current lifestyle. Hey, I hope you got something out of this, guys. If you did, please comment below with your thoughts, your takeaways, any questions I can answer or better clarify for you. Please make sure you're subscribed and ring that bell. I really appreciate you guys hanging out with me on these videos. It means the world to me. And if you share it with a friend, dude, it's like giving me a virtual hug. Love you, mean it. See you, bye.